Here with me tonight, Florida Republican Congressman, House Judiciary and House Oversight Committee member, Greg Steube. How are you, sir?
Hey, good. How are you?
So let us discuss what you have seen thus far in these proceedings.
Well, it's the same show that we saw in the House. And, it's just appalling that you see a chairman of a committee completely misrepresent everything that has been going on. And then he's just doing it in the Senate. So I'm looking forward to the President's Council having an opportunity to have their opening statements. And what's great with the Senate proceedings, unlike what happened in the House, is you actually get to hear from the President's Council. We never got to hear from the President's Council in the House because in the House, the President's Council wasn't allowed to cross-examine a single fact witness in any part of the proceeding in the House. So at least in the Senate, the President and his counsel have the opportunity to present their side of the case.
Do you think that the managers are mocking the Senate, and do you feel like senators you've spoken to feel like they're being disrespected in that great chamber?
Well, I would think that that would be their impression from being talked almost down to that way from members of the House. But from the Florida senators that I've talked to briefly about it, they look at the facts. And if you go back to the transcript and you go back to the facts, and as a lawyer, I always put my lawyer hat on and look, in the Constitution it says treason, bribery, high crimes, or misdemeanor. Nowhere in the articles that they even sent to the Senate does it even mention anything related to that. And Nadler, in the clip right before we spoke, talked about the Clinton impeachment. Well, Clinton was actually charged with a crime. He lied to Congress. He lied under oath. He perjured himself. You don't even have a crime that is even alleged in the articles of impeachment, let alone have evidence as a basis for that. So it's a totally different analysis.
I think that obviously what happened in the House and what happened in the Senate, they're designed to be different from each other. And it's designed to have this process and this cause and effect. But I do think that even though all of the votes against the Schumer amendments were along party lines, I do think that we're going to see witnesses at some point after the questions that the senators pose to the House managers and the President's counsel. I think we're going to see 2 to 3 witnesses. Who do you think those are going to be?
Well, I hope they're going to call the Republican witnesses that we asked to be called in the House, that we were absolutely denied the ability to call those witnesses. I hope they call the whistleblower. I hope they call Adam Schiff to testify about at what point did the whistleblower contact his office and his committee staff.
Those two people don't make my podium. If we're picking three people with analytical certainty, I would say Bolton and Mulvaney. I would say those two are pretty solid, and Hunter Biden.
Well, and the president said, I believe it was today, where he said he'd love to hear from him. He just has concerns from a national security perspective of executive privilege, because there was conversations, obviously, that Mick Mulvaney and Bolton had with the president that would be privileged information. So at what point do you kind of draw that line? I see both sides of it. I'm curious about
that, because it seems as though the acting chief of staff and the former national security advisor could answer certain questions. So if the senators are given parameters that do not fall within executive privilege specifically, I would think that those two would be able to answer things. And actually, I don't think that would be totally detrimental to the president. And I think a lot of people watching would appreciate having the air kind of cleared by these two.
Yeah, I think the American people would like to hear from people like, especially the Republican witnesses that we had requested. And I think it's important to have that process laid out. But if you go back to the legal side of things, I don't even feel like they've met the constitutional burden in the articles that are before them today.
I don't disagree with that. I think there's actually something to the arguments that Alan Dershowitz and John Turley have made about whether or not the issues that the House brought up and passed, if they rise to the level of impeachment. And I would warn Democrats that, we really only have 2 main parties in this country, and the pendulum swings 2 ways. That's it. Unlike me on my prom night. And it seems as though the next time it swings toward the Democrats, the threshold is going to be so low that we're just going to get in the habit of trying and removing presidents if we don't like them.
Well, and that's what you have here. Abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. And their allegations of obstruction of Congress is actually the president exerting his constitutional duties in the executive branch. It's a co-equal branch of government. And if they wanted some of those witnesses and they wanted to compel some of those documents, they could have gone to court and got the U.S. Supreme Court to make a decision on it.
Does Congress ever gross you out so much you want to become a longshoreman?
It has been an interesting experience in this last year, sitting through both the Judiciary Committee and dealing with Nadler, and sitting through some of those secret hearings in the basement and getting to listen to Schiff in some of those depositions.
Schiff in the skiff.
Has been eye-opening.
That sounds like my private hell.
Schiff in the skiff.
Congressman, thank you very much for your time. Please come back.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Very good.